Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, turning on the news, and instead of the weather forecast, you see a global nervous breakdown. Every channel is screaming, unknown energy detected across the planet. Scientists are baffled, live on air, and Anchor's hair begins to levitate. And outside the studio window, someone's car peacefully floats by, its turn signals still blinking. Our curious little stickman, Curio, stares at the screen with wide eyes as his spoon, like a tiny conductor, enthusiastically stirs the sugar in his cup. At first, the UN dismisses it as mass hysteria, but when the Eiffel Tower turns bright pink for an hour and beams of light shoot out of the Egyptian pyramids, it becomes clear. This isn't a joke. This is magic. It wasn't hiding in secret societies. It just switched on, everywhere, all at once. So, what happens next? First, the laws of physics go on indefinite leave. For centuries, scientists built a neat picture of the world with four fundamental interactions. Now, a fifth one appears. Let's call it the magical force. And it behaves like a bull in a china shop. It doesn't break the laws, it rewrites them locally. It's as if reality is a software code, and everyone suddenly got admin privileges without a manual. Gravity, it's more of a recommendation now. In some areas, you can jump and hover for a few seconds, which is causing traffic chaos. Wi-Fi is spotty because your teenage neighbor is unconsciously generating a mana field while trying to find his socks with the power of his mind. Curio tries to make a call, but his smartphone just emits colorful sparks and vibrates indignantly. Scientists try to measure the new force, but their Geiger counters just show smiley faces, and the Large Hadron Collider simply shut down, leaving a note on the monitor. Out to lunch. A new science is born. Empirical thaumaturgy. And scientists worldwide are clutching their heads. Second, the global economy turns upside down. It turns out that some people have a natural knack for magic, while others don't. Forget oil, gas, or IT. The new most valuable resource is magical potential. The stock market first crashes, then skyrockets as shares in companies producing beginner magic wands soar by thousands of %. Amazon urgently launches its Prime Wand delivery service, and Google introduces Google Spells, a search engine for incantations, with targeted ads for amulets. New professions emerge: magical debugger to fix glitches in the corporate protective fields, elemental forecaster who tries to negotiate with clouds for rain for farmers, and of course, illusionist influencer. Curio scrolls through a job site. Junior enchanter wanted, 2+ years of levitations experience required, and potion quality assurance tester, resistance to side effects is a must. A huge social problem also arises: magic inequality, where people without talent become the new working class. Third, our daily life turns into hilarious chaos. Transportation? Forget Uber. Teleportation circles for short distances are now popular. They're fast, but there's a risk of materializing in someone's bathroom or arriving at work without your pants. Curio once tried to use one to get to the office and ended up on the roof of his own building. His bow tie was perfectly in place, but his briefcase had turned into a squeaking rubber chicken. Food? The transmutation of products has become a culinary hit. Turning broccoli into chocolate is easy, though if the spell is slightly off, the chocolate might retain the taste of broccoli. Celebrity chefs emerge who cook not with their hands, but with willpower. Entertainment? Movie theaters offer 5D screenings, where spells from the screen can make the audience feel like they're flying or being tickled. Chores? The dishes wash themselves, but now they might complain about the hard water and demand a more expensive detergent. Fourth, geopolitics becomes even weirder. Countries with high concentrations of magical energy become the new superpowers. Some small island nation no one had ever heard of suddenly turns out to be a hub of magical power and starts dictating terms to the whole world. The UN holds emergency sessions on regulating offensive spellcasting. International law now includes a clause prohibiting turning leaders of other countries into frogs, at least not without a formal declaration of war. Border control becomes a nightmare. How do you stop illegal immigration when people can just teleport across a wall? Espionage reaches a new level. Agents are now illusionists and shapeshifters. Curio watches anxiously as a UN ambassador makes the microphones float around the room to prove his point. Fifth, The planet itself begins to change. Magic affects not only people and their technology. Anomalous zones appear across the Earth, places where magic is so strong that reality is permanently warped. The Bermuda Triangle is finally explained. New, strange creatures emerge: squirrels that teleport nuts directly from the bird feeder, city foxes that can turn invisible, and pigeons that leave rainbow trails in the sky. Flora evolves too. Trees that glow at night start growing in parks, and fish that swim backward against the current appear in rivers. The climate becomes completely unpredictable. Curio reads an article in an online journal about the migration of newly discovered glimmer moths, which feed on Wi-Fi signals. And finally, the ultimate question: was this an upgrade or a system glitch? Humanity hasn't become better or worse. It just became different. We traded predictability for wonder and safety for endless possibilities. The culture itself changed. New religions emerged that worship magic. Artists began to paint living pictures, and psychologists started treating phobias by literally pulling fears out of patients' heads. But where did this magic come from? Was our universe a simulation and the developers finally released the long-awaited Magic DLC? The story ends with Curio sitting on his balcony. He holds out his hand, and a tiny, shimmering ball of light sparks to life above his palm. He feels its warmth, its energy. It's not just a tool, it's a part of him. He smiles. The world has become chaotic and unpredictable, but it's definitely not boring. He looks at the light and thinks, okay, so what does this button do?